Does double jeopardy apply after a conviction? Imagine being tried for the same crime twice and facing the same penalties again. That would seem unfair, right? Well, the law has a rule to prevent that from happening. Today, we're exploring whether double jeopardy still applies once someone has been convicted of a crime. Double jeopardy is a legal principle that stops the government from trying someone again for the same offense after a final verdict. This protection is written into the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. It says that no person shall be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. In simple words, once you are convicted or acquitted, the case is closed. The government cannot try you again for that same crime. This rule applies whether the outcome was a conviction or an acquittal. Once a person is found guilty and the conviction is final, they are considered to have been put in jeopardy. That means the government cannot re-prosecute them for the same crime. This law is meant to prevent the government from repeatedly trying to convict someone, which could cause stress, unfairness, and waste resources. There are some important details to know. The jeopardy attaches when a trial begins. That can happen when the jury is sworn in or when a plea deal is accepted. Once that happens, double jeopardy protections kick in. It also applies to both federal and state courts, but there is an exception called the dual sovereignty doctrine. This means that different legal authorities, like a state and the federal government, can prosecute the same person for the same conduct because they are separate entities. So, a person could be convicted in state court and still face federal charges for the same act. Double jeopardy does not protect against civil penalties unless those penalties are meant as punishment. For example, fines or civil lawsuits are different from criminal punishments. Also, if a trial ends in a mistrial under certain conditions, the government might be allowed to try again. But once a person has been convicted and the case is final, double jeopardy stops any further prosecution for that crime. Knowing your rights in this area is very important. If you are convicted of a crime, the law protects you from being tried again for the same offense. It helps bring closure and prevents the government from abusing its power. If you think your double jeopardy rights have been violated, talking to a legal professional is the best step to understand how this protection applies to your specific situation.